So in this video, I'm going to show you how to add a video game over screen so that when you've collided with circles and lost all your lives, instead of just the game over, the basic game over screen, we're going to add a video to that. And we do that by creating a video object and adding it to the creation code, well, creating an instance of that object with the creation code of our game over screen. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to bring my videos into Game Maker so that they can be used by the code. So I'm going to go into my downloads folder where I've got two videos, Game Over and Victory. I'm only going to show you how to do one video, the Game Over video, but the principle is the same for Victory. So I'm going to select them both and I'm going to drag them over into Game Maker, and I'm going to just release my mouse and it'll ask if I want them to be included as included files, added as included files. I'm going to click yes. When this box appears, it shows you the files there in the data files folder. Once you've done that, you can just close that off. So I'm now going to create the object to represent the video. So I'm going to right click on Objects, Create, Object, and I'm going to call this object OBJ Game Over Video. I'm going to create two events for this video. I'm going to add a create event, which is the code that runs when the object is created. And I'm going to add a draw event, which is something that happens every frame to draw the video on screen. Now I'm going to click add event. I'm going to click create. I'm going to use GML visual, hide my my document menus, and I'm going to use a piece of code that we haven't used yet, which is execute code. And execute code allows us to write actual Game Maker language code within a code block. So you'll notice I've just scrolled around my viewport here to get as much of this block on screen as I can. And I'm going to start typing out the code. You will have a transcript for this. I recommend that as you are typing, you type, you're checking your code and you're making sure that it is correct. You will need the exact name of the video, which the one we're going to use is the game-over.mp4, and you'll notice as well that sometimes you get the pop-ups which tell you kind of autocomplete code, allow you to autocomplete code. You can use them if you feel they're helpful, but the key thing is making sure that you've put the code in correctly. You don't necessarily have to understand what it does. What this code does here is it just opens the video ready to be played, and it makes it so that it edits it so that it doesn't loop. It will only play the once and then stop. And that's what that code does, but it's not essential that you completely understand it at this stage. So I've done the create event. I'm going to close this off here. I'm going to add event, and this time I'm going to click draw and draw. I'm going to use GML visual, and again I'm going to use an execute code. It's not in your recently used. You can search for it. Now this code, this section of the code is a little bit more complicated. You'll notice I'm going to create myself a little bit more space so I can see what I'm doing. Start typing out the code. So as I say, you need to be quite particular about the code that you're entering. You need to make sure that it is correct. It doesn't matter if you don't fully understand it, not at this stage, just that it is entered correctly. So I'm coming to the end here. So what I'm writing here is basically the code that draws, this line here draws the video on screen. And it uses the video data to do that, but it puts it at x0, y0, and makes it the width and height of the room itself. So that looks okay to me. I'm going to give it a quick read through, make sure it is all in order. I recommend that you do as well. That looks okay to me, so I'm going to close this off. I'm going to bring in my pop-up menus, my Docker menus, and I'm going to open Room Game Over that we created earlier on. You recall it's just got that simple Game Over text there. And I am going to use this creation code button. And when I click on this creation code button, it is essentially, this is the create event for this room. And in this room, in this create event, I'm going to add create instance. And I'm going to move my mouse over there. I'm going to click select an asset, and I'm going to make sure that I've got object game video. And that is what's going to happen there is when this room is created, i.e. when the player has run out of lives and this room is triggered, what I'm asking it to do is create an instance of object game over video. So let's play that and see what it looks like. Need to lose my lives first. And one, and this should, there you go, we've got the video playing as we lose the game. If you want to create a video for Room Victory, which you created earlier, the process is exactly the same, except you need to use the victory video, and of course you'll need to create an object that has a different name than object game over video, perhaps object victory video. But the process is exactly the same. If you wanted to challenge yourself, you could go back to the beginning of this video and you could do the victory video, but just make the tweaks as and when you go along. Well, that's it for my introductory tutorials to Game Maker. There will of course be more tutorials for the content of the course, but for the time being you should have at this point an up and running, if somewhat basic, computer game.